One of the questions I was going to ask you is, how does a person come up with the courage or the strength to make that shift? But you already answered that. But the question that I wanted to ask is there when a person is going big or they've reached their goals and now they have to kind of burn everything down and start something new, is there certain common denominators that they should be looking for? Is there a way of kind of having an idea of, oh, this should be my next move? Because, we talk about pivoting, and pivoting is generally you're shifting a little bit, but you're staying within the same area. Like for me to go from teaching and education into coaching, they're very similar. Essentially, as an educator, I'm coaching students all day long. But for other people, you might be making a full shift. So curiously, I would love to hear your thoughts as to how do you make that shift? How do you make the pivot? How do you gain the courage to just burn those bridges and move into something else? Is it completely different, or does it stay kind of more within the same realm, the same sphere?
I mean, okay, so first I'm going to address the burn the bridges thing. So I heard this like theory about this whole, never burn a bridge concept.
Mm-hmm.
But and they were painting this picture, right? So if you imagine yourself and you think of all of the people or businesses or whatever that you don't want to burn a bridge with, but you don't really want to cross the bridge. You don't want to maintain it. You just don't want to burn it. Well, they're not holding up their side of the bridge. So now you imagine yourself with all of these like one-sided bridges that you're having to hold up. So how much energy and, of yourself are you putting into these one-sided bridges? Right. Because bridges are meant to be supported from two sides. And that really kind of shook my thinking on this whole don't burn that bridge thing. It's like, well, maybe you do burn that bridge or just let it fall. Because what if I'm putting my energy into holding up something that's completely one-sided and I may never need that again? Or if by the time I need that bridge, the bridge is old and crickety and I need to build a new one. So that kind of shook up that, made me think of it when you said that. But I think it can go either way. And it really depends on what your interest is, because hopefully in some way your passion and your interest is guiding what you're doing, whatever that is, right? So when I was in early education, when I was teaching in the classroom, I loved engaging with the students and trying something different and, helping and guiding the parents and these aspects that I loved. Well, those same aspects transitioned into assistant directing, because I was still getting to, now instead of guiding and teaching the students, I was getting to guide and teach the staff and et cetera, et cetera. And then I took some of those pieces and took them into directing. And then a lot of the pieces that I took from directing, like professional development and doing accreditation studies in other schools and working with other professionals and whatever, then I carried those into, the coaching and stuff that I'm doing now and the consulting. And so I think at the same time, though, mine have kind of seemed to have made sense in how they kind of transition. Yeah. But at the very same time, I could see myself saying, I really like growth and development and working with other professionals and, challenging norms. I'm going to burn all that down. I no longer want to work in any of this. And I'm going to go do like a CEO for a nonprofit, because I'm taking my same core pieces with me. And it's just the title that kind of shifts. So I think the answer could really be yes and no.
No.
Like, as long as you're taking those core pieces with you, the day-to-day of the job is really less relevant, or the title is less relevant if you're fueled from the same fire.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's really amazing. And I just want to bring up this comment by Rick Davis, because it's really, really powerful what he's saying, that sometimes if you don't burn those bridges, those enemies could come and cross. It's kind of like that. I mean, the way I'm interpreting it is that I guess like sort of like the things that I don't want from my past sort of coming and following me. Maybe it's lessons, maybe it's mistakes, maybe it doesn't necessarily mean people or whatever, but and I think, I just see he just followed up, I guess. Here's the question, is that what is our enemy that we don't want to cross the bridge? So I the way I interpret it is mostly like past mistakes or past experiences or past, doesn't always necessarily have to be the people or whatever. That's how I'm also understanding also what you're sharing, Chelsea.
Yeah. And I think it's important also to, for myself, like limiting the people who have access to you, like quick access to you. That's a limited thing. And if you're holding up all of these bridges and these access points for all of these people who are really not playing an important or productive role in your life, like you don't need that many people having access to you like that. Just let the bridges fall. You don't need it.
Couldn't agree more.
Right.
Totally agreed. Yeah.
Wow.